Cellular Field in Chicago. Only visit of the year to Chicago for the Red Sox. Game 1 of a 3-game series. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, as always, joined by Jerry Remy. Welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, the Red Sox have been rotating outfielders, and right now, Rusney Castillo gets to start tonight in right field, and Jerry seems to be settling in at the major league level. Well,
just about a year ago, we saw him come to the big leagues, and he was a very raw talent at that particular time, and it seems like the extra time that he's got now, playing some baseball at the AAA level and at the big league level, has certainly helped him out. We've seen some power, opposite field power, as we can see right here, going into the Red Sox bullpen, and then we see him going to the monster seats with a home run. So he's been showing that type of ability so far this season since being called up by the Boston Red Sox. And the numbers since being called up have been very, very good for Rusney Castillo. A .355 batting average, a couple of doubles, 2 triples, 3 home runs, and 14 RBIs. And right now, Rusney on an 8-game hitting streak. So for a guy that didn't play baseball for a couple of years, I think that added experience this year down at the AAA level has certainly helped him, because right now he is making an impact for the Red Sox.
He'll get the start in right field tonight. He'll bat 8th in the Red Sox order. And on the mound tonight for the Red Sox is Joe Kelly. Joe Kelly, who's been very good lately, has won his last 4 starts in a row. As Kelly comes in at 6-6. We're back with more right after this. Everybody, I'm Don Orsillo. Well, with Koji Uehara going down, it certainly changed the back end of the bullpen for the Red Sox. And if you look at some of the losses the Red Sox have had lately, it has been the implosion of that bullpen, as the starters have done fairly well. With more on that, we send it to field level and Garen Austin.
Hey, thanks, Don. There was more talk today regarding the bullpen. Interim manager Torey Lovello reinforced that despite not getting the job done yesterday, Junichi Shizawa will remain the closer.
I think we're going to stay with Taz for sure. He's going to probably need a day off today through 30, 31 pitches. But we want to give him the ball in the 9th inning. Just because you have a situation where you don't get the job done and don't execute, it wouldn't help him right now to just pull it away from him. That's not really what we're about. We want to be consistent with what's happening every day, and Taz is our closer, and we like him in that situation. He just didn't get the job done yesterday.
Well, tonight is Game 1 of a 6-game road trip for the Red Sox. Game 1 against the White Sox is coming your way next. Cooled off here tonight. The Red Sox and the White Sox open up a 3-game series, and the Red Sox under Torey Lovullo open up a 6-game road trip. They'll spend 3 here in Chicago, a day off on Thursday, and then 3 against the New York Mets as they get back into interleague play once again. Red Sox finishing up a lengthy homestand on a bad note yesterday as the Red Sox now head out on the road. The Chicago White Sox take the field tonight. They're led by their starter Jeff Samardzija. Let's check out the visiting Red Sox starting lineup. It's brought to you by your Eastern Hyundai dealers. Mookie Betts leading it off in center field with Pablo Sandoval. He's really settled into that 2 spot in the order. He's at third base with Xander Bogaerts at shortstop batting third. David Ortiz, the DH, in the cleanup spot with Travis Shaw at first base. Hanley Ramirez in left field bats 6th with Brock Holt at second base. Rusney Castillo in right field with an 8-game hitting streak bats 8. And Ryan Hannigan doing the catching batting 9th rounds out the starting 9. The Chicago White Sox starting pitcher presented by New England Nissan dealers. Jeff Samardzija on the mound. His 26th appearance comes in with an under 500 record individually at 8-9 with a 4.64 earned run average, 127 Ks to 35 walks, and opponents sitting at 270 against the tall right-hander. A loss last time out against the Angels, 7 innings, giving up only 1 run, but it wasn't enough as he took the loss at 7 strikeouts along the way.
The White Sox defense is brought to you by DraftKings, and they are 9th in the American League with 73 errors on the season. Tyler Saladino will be at third base. Alexi Ramirez, the shortstop. Carlos Sanchez at second. Adam LaRoche, the first baseman. Left to right, Melky Cabrera, Adam Eaton, and Ave Garcia. And Tyler Flowers doing the catching for Samardzija.
Tonight's umpires are brought to you by Buick. Experience a new Buick lineup during this year's Sign and Drive. See your local Buick dealer today. Doug Eddings has the play, calling the balls and strikes with Mark Rippinger at first base. Bill Miller, the crew chief, is at second, and Ben May, the umpire, at third. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas noches, amigos.
Well, it is a cool evening here tonight, 70 degrees as we get it started. Breeze out to right at 17 miles per hour. Been pretty windy here in the Windy City today, and forecast cloudy. And right now it is pretty cloud covered above U.S. Cellular Field for Game 1 of the series. Now Mookie Betts about to lead it off here in Chicago as Jeff Samardzija toes the rubber. Betts coming in hitting at .271 with 11 homers and 58 runs batted in. And time call waiting for the pregame ceremony to kind of wrap up down the left field line, and some fans getting off the field, and they're part of the pregame ceremony here in Chicago. Now Mookie Betts standing in. Samardzija ready to work, and the first pitch of the ball game is in there for strike 1, and we're underway.
Actually, the last time Samardzija won a ball game was against the Red Sox. That was back on July 28th at Fenway. Since then, a 4-game losing streak.
30-year-old right-hander making his 26th start of the year. The 4 straight losing decisions is the longest of his career that he's ever had that happen in the last 4 games, a 9.27 earned run average. In there for strike 2.
Yeah, Red Sox will see the fastball, the breaking ball, split-fingered fastball from Samardzija.
Did very well, as you mentioned, off the top against the Angels last time out. 7 innings, only 1 run. It still took the loss. This one driven out towards right center. Adam Eaton on the run will get there to make the catch. Long running catch. Robs Mookie Betts of a base hit there, 1 down.
Yeah, it looked like the ball might have had the gap out there at right center field. Ball hit very well by Betts, but Adam Eaton, who has very good speed, able to track that ball down and turn a possible double into an out for the White Sox. See this ball slicing away in center field from Eaton, but he's able to cover the ground and make the play.
1 down here in the first inning, and it brings up Pablo Sandoval. He has settled into that number 2 spot in the Red Sox order. .259 average. 10 homers and 40 runs batted in for Sandoval. Pablo on the homestand going 12 for 37. And a couple of hits yesterday, and comes in with a 6-game hitting streak at .296 during the 6-gamer. Samardzija gets credit for that outside corner. Xander Bogaerts on deck as the Red Sox bat here in the top of the first inning. Back to the screen and foul.
We could hear from up here Samardzija grunt as he threw that last pitch to home plate. Looked like a cut fastball that time in the hands of Pablo Sandoval. Sandoval 4 for 10 in his career against Samardzija with a couple of home runs.
Trying to pick up that outside corner again. Well, he had a stretch from June to mid-July where he had worked at least 7 innings and 5 straight starts. It has been rough lately for Samardzija ever since that win against the Red Sox, as brings a 2-2 pitch in there for strike 3. Sandoval doesn't buy it. He's strikeout victim number 1, 2 down.
That's a good pitch, you know, because Samardzija had been working him away almost that whole at bat, and then he just freezes him inside. As a hitter, you just get your mind made up that he's going to throw you away. All of a sudden, he comes inside, and there's nothing you can do about it. That ball right in the corner.
2 down here in the first inning brings up Xander Bogaerts. 314, 4 homers, and 60 runs batted in. Xander starting the night 6th in the American League in batting average with a .314 average, and comes in with a 5-game hitting streak. Chasing that, finds himself down 0-2.
Yeah, breaking ball that time to the outside part of the plate, and really fooled Xander Bogaerts. Excellent location, down and away just off the outside corner.
On the ground towards second base, Carlos Sanchez takes care of business, and Samardzija has a 1-2-3 first inning. The White Sox are coming up. Come the White Sox, and the White Sox lineup is brought to you by New England Chevy Dealers. Leading it off is Adam Eaton in center field. Jose Abreu, the DH. Melky Cabrera in left field bats third with Avisail Garcia in right. Adam LaRoche at first base with Alexei Ramirez at shortstop. Carlos Sanchez at second. Tyler Flowers doing the catching, and batting ninth is Tyler Saladino, who is at third base. Adam Eaton leading it off and hitting at 265 as he takes strike one from Joe Kelly. Eaton, the center fielder for the White Sox, lots of speed. Shows Bart grabbing the attention of Sandoval down at third base.
Yeah, that's something he'll certainly try, both dragging the ball toward first base and dropping the ball down the third baseline. Sandoval in very close at third base as we look at the numbers for Joe Kelly.
Red Sox starting pitcher presented by your local New England Audi dealers. And a full swing there for Eaton.
Well, so far, 3 pitches, 3 different pitches for Kelly. The fastball, the changeup, and the breaking ball.
See the win last time out for Joe Kelly, 6 innings. 1 run, it was unearned.
Back to the changeup.
Eaton fouls it off to the left, out of play.
Kind of talked about this, Don, in our view from the booth today. The fact that, Kelly over the last 3 or 4 starts, to me, has mixed up his pitches much better than he did earlier in the season. I think he's used more of his secondary pitches, and we're seeing it right here to the first hitter of the ball game.
Well, he's won his last 4 straight, at home against Tampa Bay, at Detroit against the Tigers, at home against Seattle, and last time out at home against the Cleveland Indians. 1-2 pitch is fouled off again.
And once again, the changeup. Red Sox shading Eaton to the opposite field. Mookie Betts shading him toward left field. Not too deep out in left field is Hanley Ramirez. And you can see Castillo pulled over.
Back to the gas again with a 1-2 pitch. And it's in the dirt at 94 miles an hour. Joe Kelly making his 21st start of the season, 4 more than his previous single season high of 17, which was last year. Trying to win his 5th straight game in a row. Full count now. Certainly, Jerry, one of the issues has been pitch count and not getting very deep into games.
Yeah, a lot of long at bats against Joe Kelly for whatever reason. A lot of foul balls, and that pitch count seems to rise very, very quickly for him. Already a long at bat here by Eaton.
Eaton fouls off another, and he'll see a 9th pitch in this at bat. Joe Kelly's faced Chicago just once in his career. That was at Fenway Park back on July the 27th of this year. And a no decision, giving up 5 runs, 4 earned, 7 hits in just 3 1/3 innings. There are the numbers for the July 27th start. On the ground and diving at shortstop Bogarts. His throw is going to be close, but in time. It's a speedy Adam Eaton on a nice play by Xander Bogarts.
I think the White Sox are going to check this one too, because they felt like Eaton beat that out. That's a heck of a play by Bogarts at shortstop to dive, get up quickly, and be able to make that throw and make it that close at first base. We'll take another look. Boy, that is close. Now from that angle there, it looks like they did have him at first base.
And they're not going to challenge.
Yeah, I think they did. I think that ball was in the webbing of the glove of Travis Shaw before that front foot hit the bag.
So 1 down, and a very nice play by Xander Bogarts for the first out here in the bottom of the first inning. There is Jose Abreu digging in. DH batting in the 2 spot. Former Rookie of the Year standing in on the right side. In there for strike 1 at 95 and right at the bottom of the zone. And the White Sox coming into this game tonight 16.5 games back of the Kansas City Royals in the American League Central. They have 58 wins, 2 more wins than the Red Sox have coming into tonight's contest. They are 58-64, but certainly a far cry from where Robin Ventura wanted to be this year. And now in 4th place in the division in his 4th season at the helm here of the White Sox. Abreu waves at that and is down 1-2.
Yeah, he was completely fooled by the curveball that time of Joe Kelly, and once again to Abreu a lot of off-speed pitches early in this at bat. A couple of curveballs, the second and third pitch.
Two balls, two strikes to Abreu. Abreu gets hit a lot. He's been hit 14 times so far in the year. He's on deck, Melky Cabrera. White Sox batting here in the bottom of the first inning. Last 29 games, Abreu hitting at .315 during that stretch. It's a fly ball down the right field line. Well, Castillo back at the wall. That ball is gone. Home run for Jose Abreu, his 24th of the year, and it puts the White Sox on top 1-0.
Now that gives you an idea of how strong Abreu is, because he took a breaking ball and took it to the opposite field for the home run. Curveball that stays right out over the plate. It's elevated about knee high, and Abreu to the opposite field, up over everything for the home run.
That was the 14th home run of the year allowed by Joe Kelly, and it comes with one out here in the bottom of the first inning. Now Melky Cabrera will take strike one. Cabrera was on fire when the White Sox were in Boston. He hits at .271, 8 homers, and 59 runs batted in. Has been struggling lately. 6 for his last 44 at 138 in the last 10 games.
Yeah, facing a guy tonight, though, he has pretty much a comfort level against 4 for 8 in his career of Joe Kelly.
That 4-game series against the Red Sox, at .474 during that series for Cabrera. He was red hot then. Joe Kelly was able to get Eaton to ground out to short, but then he gives up the solo home run to Jose Abreu. Framed by Hannigan, but it's a ball. 2-2.
Kelly trying that two-seam fastball, trying to run it back to the inside corner, but not quite enough. Hannigan set up inside. The ball does come back a little bit, but not enough to be called a strike.
So another full count here for Joe Kelly. On deck is Avisail Garcia. 20th pitch of the inning coming up here for Kelly. And a swing and a miss as he gets Cabrera to strike out. 2 down.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, and they are 13th in the league with 77 errors on the season. Pablo Sandoval at third base, Xander Bogaerts the shortstop, Brock Holt at second, and Travis Shaw the first baseman. Left to right, Hanley Ramirez, Mookie Betts, and Rusney Castillo, and Ryan Hannigan doing the catching for Joe Kelly.
2 down here in the first inning brings up Avisail Garcia. Cleanup hitter. And Garcia takes strike one right down the middle at 97 miles an hour. 266 average for Garcia, 11 homers and 46 runs batted in. Last 7 games hitting at .333 is Garcia. Comes in with a 3-game hitting streak into tonight's action. Trying to stay away. And they do for a ball. 2-1. Center fielder Mookie Betts over towards right center. Good sized gap out in left center field. Garcia hits a fly ball to center field. Betts ended up being positioned perfectly out there in right center, and he makes the catch. It ends the inning. Jose Abreu with a home run as the White Sox on top 1-0. Williams made his only major league appearance as a pitcher, throwing 2 innings and a loss to the Tigers. He allowed an earned run and recorded 1 strikeout. Twisted Tea is the hard iced tea. Tastes like real iced tea. Be a little twisted. Now we start the second inning with the White Sox on top 1-0. Joe Kelly allowing a home run to Jose Abreu. And David Ortiz takes the 1-0 for strike 1 on the outside corner. David starting the night at .265 with 26 home runs, 76 runs batted in. The White Sox shifting on him on the right side. Popped up left side. Saladino, the third baseman, makes the catch in shallow left for the first out here of the second inning. Well, Tuesday, September 8th is Red Sox hat giveaway night presented by Toyo Tires. All fans in attendance will receive a special 1975 season hat. Visit redsox.com/promos for tickets. 1 out here in the second inning. 4 in a row retired by Samardzija to start his night. And it brings up Travis Shaw, who's been batting out of this 5 spot lately. Now Shaw, who in his first 9 major league at bats did not have a hit, since has gone 28 for 71, hitting at .394 since that point. And this is his 5th major league stint as it has popped up again to short left. Saladino again back there to make the catch. He's handled the first 2 outs of the inning.
I imagine Shaw was the guy that spent a lot of time in the video room today because he's the only guy in the lineup that hadn't faced Samardzija before.
How much does that help, Jerry? Does it, until you get in there and actually see it?
Yeah, it gives you an idea on what he throws, what the action of his fastball is, but really until you're 60 feet, 6 inches away from him, it's a little bit different when you get up there. But at least you have an idea of his assortment of pitches and how he works to certain hitters.
2 down here in the second inning for Hanley Ramirez. And they'll take strike 1. Snapped an 0 for 16 stretch with a 2-out double in the 8th inning of Saturday's game, and Now he's started 6 of the last 8 Red Sox games. He's not had a home run in his last 26 games.
He has been stuck on 19 for quite some time. Very good numbers, as you can see, though, against Samaja.
Just 2 for 20 on the homestand was Hanley Ramirez. Popped up foul back and out of play, and he trails in the count 1-2. On deck is Brock Holt with 2 outs here in the top half of the second inning. Five in a row retired by Jeff Samardzija to start his outing tonight. Will slip there by Samardzija as he looks at the landing area.
And once again, doing what a lot of pitchers do when they get ahead of Ramirez, they try to go inside with the fastball. Slip on that landing foot by Samardzija on that last pitch, but he's fine.
Hanley gets hit in the back. So hit with a pitch with 2 outs in the inning. It'll be the first Red Sox base runner of the game. And they're trying to walk it off here as he heads down to first base.
Yeah, once again trying to go inside. Like I said, that's what they try to do to Ramirez when they get ahead of him, but this time way too far inside and right off the side of Ramirez.
So a 2-out base runner for the Red Sox, and it brings up Brock Holt. 287, 2 homers, and 36 runs batted in for Holt. Runner goes as taken off right away is Hanley Ramirez, but it is fouled off to the left.
Yeah, had Brock Holt known that, he probably would have taken a pitch for Ramirez because he had a pretty good jump over there, but the Ramirez probably running on his own. Generally, if the hitter sees that he's got the steal sign, they'll let him go, give him the pitch, and see if he can get in a scoring position, especially with the 2 outs.
On the road, a .300 average for Brock Holt. Now a ground ball, base hit into right center field. Hanley Ramirez will take second base on the first hit of the night for Boston. It comes from Brock Holt.
Well, Holt, after being out of the lineup for a bit, comes back well rested and picks up the base hit. Actually got jammed a little bit on that, but able to get the ball by Carlos Sanchez, the second baseman, and Ramirez moves up 1 base.
2 on, 2 down, and it'll bring up Rusney Castillo. 293, 4 homers, and 20 runs batted in for Rusney. A good series against Kansas City, going 4 for 7 in the series. Pretty good homestand all the way around for him. 10 for 23 during the homestand. He's now hit safely in his last 8 straight games. For his last 3 in this spot, and a .383 average with runners in scoring position. He's got Ramirez at second, Holt at first with 2 down in the inning. And a fly ball to center field, struck well. Adam Eaton going back onto the track. It spun around, but it's gone. Home run for Rusney Castillo to straightaway center field, and the Red Sox take a 3-0 lead. All of this coming with 2 outs in the inning.
Well, we talked a little bit in the open about the power of Rusney Castillo, and we just got a good example of it, the straightaway center field. 9-game hitting streak now for Castillo. Looked like a little cut fastball that time, or a slider from Samardzija, and Castillo stays all over it to take it to center field for the home run. So Samardzija really hurt himself in this inning. Got ahead of Ramirez, hit him with a pitch, the base hit by Holt, and then the home run by Castillo.
So for Rusney, his 5th home run of the year, RBIs 21, 22, and 23. And now Ryan Hanigan stands in.
You know, this is not unusual for Samardzija. He has a 7.20 ERA in the first inning this season. And the Red Sox, well, this is actually the second inning, excuse me, so forget the first inning. He did fine in the first inning tonight. I'm just an inning behind.
For every home run the Red Sox hit the rest of the season, Alltown will donate $500 to Boston Children's Hospital. Alltown is New England's premier healthier convenience retailer. So a 3-run shot for Rusney Castillo. A 3-1 Red Sox lead just like that. And now Hanigan going the other way for a base hit. So the Red Sox catcher aboard with a 2-out single to right.
Hanigan now with a 4-game hitting streak as he takes it to the opposite field. We've seen him do that a lot. A lot of base hits to right field recently.
And Don Cooper, the pitching coach, headed out there.
That ball away from Hanigan, and he just goes with the pitch to the opposite field for the base hit. So the early inning problems for Samardzija continue here against the Red Sox.
So Hanigan at first, 2 down in the inning, and Mookie Betts coming up top of the Red Sox order. Getting his second look tonight at Samardzija. That's flied out to the center fielder Adam Eaton in the first inning, 0 for 1. In there for strike 1 at 94 miles an hour. One pitch in there for a strike, and it's 0-2. Samardzija got 2 quick outs. Ortiz to pop out to third. Travis Shaw popped out to third, but a hit batter, a single, a 3-run home run, and another single. And now Betts did not go, says Mark Rippinger, first base umpire.
Very close that time. Could have gone either way.
Another chance for Betts, and he will send a soft liner to second base. Caught there by Sanchez to end the inning. A 3-run home run for Rusney Castillo. It is 3-1. Red Sox have the lead. Style of pizza. Text 1 for Chicago deep dish. Text 2 for additional thin crust or traditional thin crust. Text your answer to 536-536. Message and data rates may apply. One message per vote. Visit NESN.com/terms for terms and conditions and privacy policy. I'm going thin crust.
Yeah, I like thin crust too.
Bottom of the second inning, 3-1. Red Sox have the lead, and Adam LaRoche leads it off and takes ball one from Joe Kelly. Run by Jose Abreu in the first inning. Propelling the White Sox at the time to a 1-0 advantage, but Red Sox come back with 3 in the second. Fly ball foul as Sandoval gives chase by the tarp area, and Pablo dives to make the catch at the tarp. Nice grab by Pablo Sandoval going up over the tarp.
I'll tell you what, when that ball left the bat, I didn't think Sandoval had any chance to get this, and he goes right to the top, uses that to brace himself, makes the catch, and almost rolls over the top. Sandoval recently has been playing some pretty good defense down at third base, so there's the latest example of that. He had a long way to go to make that play.
And one down here in the second inning. Some solid defense turned in by the Panda. There is Alexei Ramirez. There's 239, 8 homers and 47 runs batted in. Ramirez has hit safely in 20 of his last 25 games. That just misses outside. He's been very good defensively as Alexei Ramirez. 2 errors in his last 39 games. Staying away again. Same spot, missing again.
Yeah, usually those are pitches he swings at. He doesn't take very much. Only 18 walks on the season.
Takes again, same spot, 3 pitches in a row, and it ends up being ball 4, the first walk allowed by Joe Kelly.
And I talked about Sandoval. He was not really had that good of a defensive year, but recently it has been pretty good. A nice play going to his left, a diving play. A couple of steps there to make a catch on a line drive, and then another diving play going to his left, which seems to be his strong side. And then the play tonight, of course, going up against the top to make this catch on a pop-up. Twice he looked away and was able to pick up the baseball.
So one down, Ramirez at first base and Carlos Sanchez the batter. The first, and back to the bag diving was Ramirez.
Yeah, Ramirez will run. That's why they check on him quickly. 15 steals on the season, caught 5 times.
They may challenge this as Torey Lovullo will now head back down the steps. Gets the word he's not going to challenge. Right out of the dugout, thought they may have had him at first base. Carlos Sanchez the batter. Another check and another hard throw over there by Joe Kelly.
Yeah, one thing Kelly has is pretty quick feet. And to be a pickoff guy for a right-hander, you have to have quick feet.
Ramirez gains his lead again, held on by Travis Shaw. Sanchez is yet to see a pitch. Now he will, and he'll take it down low for ball 1. Carlos Sanchez coming in, hitting at .239, 3 homers and 24 runs batted in. Rookie here for the White Sox. Leads all rookies in doubles, has 20 on the year. 8th in hits was 69. Takes the strike. 3 home runs for Carlos Sanchez. They've all come in the last month. Another throw over, a little bit lower this time, but back to the bag is Ramirez. Joe Kelly had to throw 24 first inning pitches. Sanchez fouling it back to the screen. Well, tonight's suits are designed by Joseph Abood, custom made in the USA of fine Italian fabrics, available at Men's Warehouse. One out, Alexei Ramirez at first base, and Carlos Sanchez down the count 1-2. It was Tyler Flowers, catcher for the White Sox, waiting on deck. Kelly again going to first, and again Ramirez diving back.
And diving back every time at first base. Ramirez, he's about maxed out on his lead at first base.
Trying to work on his track over there at first base. Now Kelly back to work here with a count of 1-2 and 1 out in the second inning. Sanchez on the ground at third base. Sandoval will go to second for 1, on to first. It is not in time. We'll get the lead runner, Alexei Ramirez, 5-4 in the fourth shot, but Sanchez with too much speed.
Now Sanchez got down that line pretty good, because I thought it was going to be a double play, and the Red Sox didn't do anything wrong. I mean, it was a quick release here from Sandoval. Brock Holt straddling the bag, makes the throw to first. Just good hustle down the line by Sanchez to beat that play.
Now Hannigan out to talk to Joe Kelly. They prepared to deal with Tyler Flowers, the catcher.
And down all the way as he heads to first base, and that's good hustle by Sanchez going down the line, trying to stay away from that inning-ending double play.
Here is Flowers at 222, 8 homers and 32 runs batted in. Catcher batting out of the A spot for the White Sox. And taking strike 1, 95 on the fastball that time from Joe Kelly. Flowers playing in 211 games since the beginning of last year. 7th among catchers in Major League Baseball. That's with 2 outs and Carlos Sanchez at first base. The throw over, and back diving hit first to Sanchez.
And Sanchez with 1 steal on the season, caught 1 time. Well, with 2 outs, you never know. May try to grab a bag and get in scoring position.
Flowers will take the strike. More fastballs from Joe Kelly. White Sox have scored 6+ runs in 4 straight games. I think at 299 in the last 4 games. Their offense has come alive here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kelly backs off. Time called over at first base. Adam LaRoche fouled out to begin the inning. A walk for Alexei Ramirez, and then Carlos Sanchez grounded into the fielder's choice as Ramirez was forced out at second base. 40th pitch coming up here for Kelly, and it's going to miss for ball 3. Another full count. Third full count for Joe Kelly of the night. With Tyler Saladino waiting on deck. Flowers chops this towards first base. Shaw is going to need Kelly. Underhands to Kelly, who got over to the bag at first to end the inning. So the White Sox leave a runner. Red Sox have a 3-1 lead. As Pablo Sandoval, Xander Bogaerts, and David Ortiz to bat in the third. Sandoval struck out looking in the first inning. Only strikeout for Samardzija so far. And a liner here into center field for a base hit. So Sandoval in his second at bat has himself a single to begin things in the third inning.
Now Sandoval struck out back in the first inning. This time not going to wait around. Jumps on that first pitch from Samardzija for the line drive into center field. They wanted that ball away, and it was away, but Sandoval able to cover the down and away, almost like it was an 0-2 pitch he was swinging at.
Well, lead runner on here in the third inning for Boston. First time tonight they've had the lead runner on, and they'll check on Sandoval. Xander Bogaerts grounded out to second base in the first inning, 0 for 1. Now jumps back out of the way of a fastball down and in. Just missed, 2-0.
See some logic. Keep going to that glove on that thumb hand. He's got a little bit of pine tar in there, that area that he will go to try to get a better grip on the baseball.
Fastball by him, 2-1.
See him going to the thumb right there, almost after every single pitch. Not quite like Pineda with the Yankees a few years back.
A little more creative.
Yeah.
Well, pop-up foul off to the right, ends up in behind the Red Sox dugout. David Ortiz waiting on deck. '40th pitch for Samardzija. And that one is going to hit Bogaerts. This is the second batter that he's hit tonight. He hit Hanley Ramirez in the second. Now he hits Bogaerts here in the third.
Yeah, the pine tar is not helping really because he's been all over the place. You know, he hit Hanley back with 2 outs in the second inning. That led to 3 runs. Now he hits Bogaerts almost in the same area. That fastball kept running back in on Bogaerts.
Supposed to help your grip, right?
Supposedly, yes.
Yeah.
And that's why hitters put on their bats.
The idea. 2 on, nobody out. David Ortiz, who popped out to Tyler Saladino at third base, first time up. Took a pretty good hack there, but a fastball by him at 93. First 2 have reached here for the Red Sox in the third inning. White Sox electing not to shift. David Ortiz this time. Third time this year that Samardzija has hit more than a batter in a game. On the wild side. Liner that is caught. Nobody can get to second in time to double off Sandoval, but Ramirez able to make the catch on Ortiz for the first out of the inning.
Well, most of the time against David, they're in that shift, and the shortstop's not even there. Clearly, that's got pulled over to the second base side, and it takes a base hit away from David Ortiz. Nice jumping catch by Ramirez. He immediately looked to second, but there was no time for Sanchez, the second baseman, to get there.
Yeah, David frustrated. 0 for 2 today. Brings up Travis Shaw with runners at first and second. Shaw popped out to Saladino at third base in the second inning. 0 for 1 tonight. Sandoval at second. Bogaerts at first with 1 away.
Pretty good changeup that time. Not the location he wanted it. They wanted to go away with it, but it was off speed enough to fool Travis Shaw. They want that pitch down. They want it away, but instead it stays inside. But still, they get the swing and miss. Oh, 2, he cleans out, but well out ahead as he fouls it off to the right.
DraftKings.com is paying out over $300 million this baseball season. DraftKings has given out $34 million to Boston residents alone since the site launched. Get your free entry into a one-day fantasy baseball contest today using promo code NESSN. 2 on, 1 away, and an 0-2 pitch to Shaw. And a swing and a miss for Shaw, who strikes out. It's a second strikeout for Samardzija. 2 down.
Yeah, both strikeouts for him coming on the fastball tonight. One against Sandoval. This one also a fastball against Shaw. That ball running away a little bit toward the outside part of the plate. 95 miles an hour that time.
So 2 on, 2 down. And it brings up Hanley Ramirez. He was hit by a pitch in the back in the second inning. Came around to score. That's what got the rally started for the Red Sox in the second inning. Samardzija coming to the White Sox from the Oakland A's. Deal made December 9th of this past offseason. For 7 seasons in the majors as a member of the Chicago Cubs, breaking into the big leagues with the Cubs in 08. Ramirez hits it on the ground to shortstop. Alexei Ramirez will go to second base for the force out. That ends the inning. Red Sox have a 3-1 lead through 2.5. Last 4 starts versus his previous 16. Last 4 starts 4-0 with a 3.22 earned run average. Previous 16 starts 2-6 with a 5.94 ERA. Gave up a solo home run in the first inning to Jose Abreu. Has a 3-1 lead working here into the bottom of the third inning. Tyler Saladino, White Sox third baseman, hitting at .248 coming into tonight's game. 3 homers and 12 runs batted in for Saladino. On the ground at third, it's gathered by Sandoval for the first out of the inning. Let's check in with Guerin.
Hey, thanks, Don. Starting today, Red Sox fans can bid to have one of 7 Red Sox players dump a bucket of ice on them on the field on August 31st. Now, in addition to that, the winners will receive a special spring training jersey that the players wore on March 3rd to honor Pete Frates, as well as 2 tickets to the game that night. All the proceeds of the auction will benefit the ALS Association. Don, Jerry, this is a great cause and kind of adds a fun new twist to the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge.
All right, Karen, thanks very much. Look forward to that as the pitch is in there for a strike to Adam Eaton. One of the Red Sox participating in the Ice Bucket Challenge on the last homestand as well. Eaton off the end of the bat. A lot of spin on it. It's going to stay foul, though, as Sandoval picks it up. Looks like that may come back. Eaton wasn't sure, so he took off for first base.
Anytime you spin one down that third base line, you better run because you don't know what direction it's going to go in. Right toward the end of the bat. And didn't go right away, but then said, wait a minute, this thing might stay fair. I better get running. As it starts to come back a little bit.
Reaches out and grounds one softly to second base. Brock Holt gets it there in a hurry. Got to hurry with Eaton getting down the line, but he does for the second out of the inning. The Red Sox season ticket plans will soon be available for the 2016 season. For information about becoming a Red Sox season ticket holder, call 617-226-6888 or visit redsox.com/season tickets today. Now 2 down here in the third inning. A lot of Red Sox Nation making their way here for the only visit of the year for the Red Sox to Chicago. Jose Abreu standing in.
Back in the first inning, Abreu getting a breaking ball, doing a very good job staying back on it, and opposite field power for Abreu.
His 24th home run of the year. One almost got him.
A lot of baseball today in Chicago. The Cubs played the Indians and won an exciting game this afternoon over at Wrigley. And of course tonight here on the south side of Chicago, Red Sox, White Sox.
It is not often that the two teams play on the same day at home, but that was a makeup game against the Cleveland Indians today, and John Lester is on the mound today for the Cubs. Now ball to third base. Sandoval. It's a 1-2-3 third inning for Joe Kelly. He needed that economical inning. 3-1 Red Sox. They're happening to local people at easternbank.com/goodthingshappen. back in Chicago at U.S. Cellular Field. And leading it off for the Red Sox is Brock Holt, heading out of the 7th spot in the Red Sox order tonight. Holt, Rusney Castillo, Ryan Hanigan to face Jeff Samardzija here in the 4th inning. Samardzija last year finished the year at 7-13 between the Cubs and the Oakland A's. This is sharply hit but foul. Ended up making 16 starts last year for the Athletics, going 5-6 in Oakland. Swing and a miss, and Brock Holt strikes out. That's a 3rd K for Jeff Samardzija, and the first out of the 4th inning. Attention Red Sox Nation, there's a reason why the Boston Red Sox and the rest of America run on Dunkin', because our coffee is consistently smooth and delicious. The Boston Red Sox run on Dunkin'. One out for Rusney Castillo, takes strike 1. Rusney with a 3-run home run in the 2nd inning, 5th home run of the year.
Now back in the 2nd inning, a 3-run shot on a cut fastball or a slider that time from Samardzija. One that stayed upstairs and straight away center field for Rusney Castillo.
Now grounder up the middle, and diving is Sanchez, can't get it. It's into center, and Castillo is 2 for 2 on the night.
And not a very good pitch right there. It had no balls and 2 strikes, and way too good a pitch. 0-2 to give Castillo a chance to make contact. Ball was down, but had pretty much the middle of the plate, and topped through the middle by Castillo.
One out, one on, and Ryan Hanigan coming up. Hanigan with a single to right field in the 2nd inning. As one of the 5 Red Sox hits on the night. Throw over, and Castillo diving back head first.
Rusney a perfect 3 for 3 in steal attempts.
Hanigan takes a strike. And Butterfield reeling off the signs for Castillo at first and Hanigan at the plate. Last 14 games, Ryan Hanigan hitting at .302. Hanigan, a guy who walks quite a bit, but has not drawn a walk in the last 14 games. Longest stretch of his career, in fact. A bigger lead now for Rusney Castillo, as Hanigan takes strike 2 at the top of the zone.
Breaking ball this time that is right at the top of the strike zone. A lot of times you don't see breaking balls like that called strikes. Most of them are usually down, but that time the high strike called.
Swing and a miss, and Hanigan late on the 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Second strikeout of the inning, 4th of the outing for Samardzija.
And just climbing the ladder, you know, a breaking ball that was high followed by a fastball that was high. You can see Tyler Flowers, the catcher, coming out of his crouch. They want that pitch upstairs. It's exactly where they get it, and they get the strikeout.
So 2 down. Rusney Castillo at first base, and it brings up Mookie Betts.
Now here's a spot where Castillo should be running. I mean, if he gets the proper count, to go ahead and go, because if he's thrown out, you got the leadoff man leading off next inning. Obviously, if he's successful, he's in scoring position with 2 outs.
Takes off, and this one is fouled back.
And again, it's a young mistake by Mookie Betts. I mean, you got to know the situation, and you got to know that Castillo's going to probably be running in this at bat. And what you're trying to do is give him a strike to get in scoring position. You want the runner to go early, so you give the hitter a good count to work with, and that's just being young and inexperienced. Trying to fake a bunt, maybe take a strike that way and hope that you get a man in scoring position.
Strike called, and it's 0-2.
Quite a few high strikes being called so far in this game.
Doug Eddings behind the plate tonight.
And they should be called. I totally agree with calling the high strike there. We talked about it a lot, Don, for a while. If you threw a ball above the belt, it was not called a strike.
Looks like Flowers wants it up again, and fighting it off is Mookie Betts to the right. Tried to do the same thing to Betts that they did to Hannigan, and then rising fastball.
And that ball had a little movement on it too, coming back inside on Mookie Betts. Very fortunate there to make contact to foul it off.
Steele gains his lead at first base again, held on by LaRoche at first base. Check on him again, and he's back safely. Betts has flied out to center and lined out to second base. So far 0 for 2 in the game. Taking off is Rusney. The pitch in the dirt. The throw is in the dirt, and sliding by the bag, and now is going to be out is Rusney Castillo. He was safe, but then went by the bag, it appears, and then was tagged out afterwards. Could not keep himself from coming off the bag. Bottom of the fourth inning, and it's Melky Cabrera leading it off here for the White Sox. Cabrera, Garcia, and LaRoche to bat here in the bottom of the fourth. This one fouled off. Turns out that Mookie Betts ended up striking out to end last inning.
Yeah, you got the vocal sign first, and then you got the sign from the umpire. So the whole Rusney thing at second base didn't really matter because Mookie Betts had been called out on strikes.
There's a ground ball to shortstop. Bogarts to his left. And he throws out Melky Cabrera, who is 0 for 2. But here's a rundown for a limited time. Sign up for a free checking account with Eastern Banking. Get $100. Just text money to 36698. Message and data rates may apply. One out in the fourth inning, and now retiring the last 6 in a row is Joe Kelly. And all on ground ball outs. So keeping it on the ground right now. One down for Avisaíl Garcia. Flied out to center field in the first inning. 0 for 1. Garcia didn't think so. On the ground again, and Holt to his left, a stride on the outfield grass, throws out Garcia. 2 down. Well, Thursday night, catch the Pawtucket Red Sox as they visit the Buffalo Bisons. It's live at 7 p.m. and it's right here on NESN. Two down in the fourth inning, brings up Adam LaRoche. 0 for 1, he fouled out to Pablo Sandoval. Made the catch up against the tarp in foul ground. Superhero night in Chicago, and they put the players' faces on some superheroes as well on the scoreboard in center field. We saw Batman throw out the first pitch.
And that was just a terrific moment tonight. I thought Batman too was going to bounce it.
Yeah, he got it there in the air, though.
Just barely got it there.
Yeah. On the ground down the first baseline, gathered by Shaw. He'll take it himself. 8 in a row, retired by Joe Kelly, who's in a good groove now. We're through 4, 3-1 Boston. 1975 season. In their 125th game, the Red Sox lost to the Royals 3-1. Cecil Cooper had 3 hits and scored the Red Sox only run. It's on to the top of the 5th inning, 3-1 Boston, and Pablo Sandoval leading it off. Pablo 1 for 2 tonight. He struck out looking in the first inning, singled to center field in the 3rd inning. Popped up, foul, back and out of play. Sandoval will be followed by Bogarts and Ortiz in the inning. 2, 3, and 4 to bat here in the 5th.
I mentioned Sandoval has a couple of home runs against Samardzija. Here's one at Fenway Park. Back in July off the Sports Authority side, going to the opposite field.
Pablo with 10 home runs on the year. Only problem inning for Samardzija was the 2nd inning. After 2 outs, he hit Ramirez, gave up a single to hold, and then 3-run home run that time by Rusney Castillo. For Castillo, his 5th home run of the year. As the Red Sox on top 3-1 as they bat here in the top of the 5th. Foul back again. See his 7th pitch in this at bat. Samardzija with 5 strikeouts so far in the night, ended up striking out the side in the 4th inning. Pitch 70 for Samardzija. And Sandoval fouls off another. Bogarts on deck with nobody out here in the top of the 5th. Swing and a miss, and Sandoval strikes out, and a pitch running away. 6 strikeouts now for Samardzija.
Yeah, first time it was a fastball that got Sandoval, then the base hit. Now the changeup away from him to pick up the strikeout as they get him to chase the ball. That is just a little bit off the outside part of the plate, but one you don't want to take with 2 strikes.
Make insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance. 1 out in the 5th. As Xander Bogaerts takes strike 1. Bogaerts grounded out to second base in the 1st, hit by a pitch in the 3rd. David Ortiz waiting on deck with 1 down here in the 5th. Strike 2. Samardzija coming into this game tonight 8-9 with a 4.64 earned run average. 21st start of the year for the right-hander. Xander bloops one into shallow right. Out goes Sanchez, and he'll make the catch over the shoulder. 2 down here in the 5th inning.
A very good concentration there by Sanchez as he tracks that ball. Looked like it had a chance to drop in between Garcia and Sanchez, but Sanchez covers an awful lot of ground in a hurry to be able to make this play. Never takes his eye off the baseball, not concerned too much about the right fielder coming in, and makes the play.
2 down here in the 5th inning for David Ortiz. High fly ball to right field. Out there in right is Abisail Garcia, and he'll make the catch to end the inning. 1-2-3-5 for Samardzija. 3-1 Red Sox lead. Joe Kelly's pitching line is brought to you by Ace Ticket. 4 innings so far, a hit, a run. The home run by Jose Abreu back in the 1st inning. He's walked a batter, struck out a batter. He's retired the last 8 in a row, and they've all been ground ball outs. As Alexei Ramirez leads it off and takes strike 1. Ramirez walked in the 2nd inning. That's his 2nd look at Joe Kelly tonight. On the ground, foul outside of first.
Yeah, very late on that fastball too from Joe Kelly that time. Fastball that was up around a lot of high. And again, wanted it up and away. It comes up and in, and the very late swing, as you can see, by Alexei Ramirez.
Carlos Sanchez on deck, then Tyler Flowers expected here in the 5th. A lot of ground ball outs tonight for Joe Kelly, 9 total over the first 4 innings. Ramirez lines this into left center field. That's going to get down and roll. Betts cuts it off on the backhand. Ramirez headed to second base. Throw to second base. He will be out. He thought he eluded the tag and wants a challenge from his manager, Robin Ventura. But right now called out by Bill Miller, the umpire at second base. We'll see.
Well, regardless, that's a heck of a play by Mookie Betts in center field. We'll have to see on the replay if Alexi Ramirez was safe. But watch Betts come up throwing and throws a perfect one-hop to Holt. Now here's the tag. Is the tag there? Oh, I don't know. He comes off the bag, but I don't know if Holt still had the glove on him. Let's take another look. See, when he comes off the bag, I don't think Holt has the glove on him. I think Ramirez may win this challenge. Slide. Does he get the bag before a tag? Looks like he does, unless he got a piece of his uniform. Then the glove's off him. He comes off the bag and was never tagged by Brock Holt while he was off the bag.
Yeah, it looked like he missed with that first swipe.
Yeah. And what you do as an infielder, if you do miss, you never go back a second time because that's going to tip it off that you did miss him.
So Brock probably wasn't sure himself. Now Bill Miller making the call at second base. He is also the crew chief of this crew. Call on the field was out. We'll see what the ruling is going to be here, whether they overturn it or not. Robin Ventura's challenge here, the White Sox manager.
You know, one of the more difficult things for a guy making a tag like that, a second baseman, is the fact that you're looking out at the outfield of the baseball. Then when you spin around, you've got to find that runner, and it's sometimes very difficult to do. And you just try to swipe that tag down there as quickly and as close to him as you possibly can. See, Holt's got his back to him. Now he turns. He's looking for the runner. But that was a nice little move that Alexi Ramirez made by going to the third base side of the bag. And, of course, that's the advantage the runner has. He sees where the throw is, so you can make an adjustment in your slide.
And he's now safe, so it is overturned. So a double, 25th of the year for Alexi Ramirez, and a double to begin things here in the fifth inning. See how large this turns out to be as Carlos Sanchez now digs in. Sanchez grounding into a fielder's choice in the second inning, 0 for 1. That double, just the second hit of the night for the White Sox. Now Sanchez will take ball one, and again try to frame it on that outside corner. Ball and a strike now to Sanchez. Lots of room in left center and right center. As Ramirez tight to the line in left, and about straight up in right is Castillo. In the air to shallow right, and Rusney Castillo comes in to make the catch. Let's say Ramirez remains at second base. One out in the inning. Now, for every Red Sox game that goes into extra innings or the Sox get a save, CVS Pharmacy will make a donation to Children's Hospital towards a $25,000 commitment once again this season. CVS Pharmacy is the official pharmacy of the Boston Red Sox. Runner at second, one down, and it brings up Tyler Flowers. Grounded out to first base in the second inning. Ground ball to first. Shaw to the backhand is going to need Kelly, who covers for the out. And quickly spins around to find Ramirez at third base with now two down.
I'll tell you, one of the things that surprised me about Shaw, he's done a very nice job defensively down at first base. And, I hadn't seen him play a lot at first base, obviously. But, he's handled everything in his direction. Backhanded play there, gets the momentum going toward first base. A nice underhand flip to Kelly, who's doing his job by covering. You see the route he takes, trying to go right up that first base line. Very good. Well executed on both ends.
So Alexei Ramirez 90 feet away with two down here in the fifth inning brings up Tyler Saladino, who was 0 for 1 in the ball game. Takes strike one. Saladino grounding out to his counterpart at third base in Pablo Sandoval in the third inning. Takes strike two. Kelly at 97 miles an hour. Mookie Betts, the center fielder, into right center. Good size gap out there in left center for Saladino.
Yeah, he slides over a little more, even with 2 strikes now on the hitter. Most defenders will do that in the outfield, expecting a more defensive swing with 2 strikes.
Marja trailing in the game right now 3-1, but the White Sox threatening here with a runner at third and 2 down. Saladino grounds it up the middle. Bogart's racing in on the run and in time, able to get him at first base. The White Sox lead Ramirez at third. Red Sox lead at 3-1. Let's take a look at the Red Sox box score. Leading it off for Boston, Travis Shaw. Hanley Ramirez and Brock Holt to bat here in the top of the 6th inning. And Shaw takes ball 1 from Jeff Samardzija. Samardzija fresh off a 1-2-3 5th inning. His offense threatened but did not score. And the Red Sox remain on top here 3-1 as they bat in the 6th inning. Shaw 0 for 2 in the ball game. He has popped out to the third baseman and struck out swinging. Shaw, a 9th round pick in 2011 by the Red Sox, the son of 2-time All-Star Jeff Shaw. Pitched in the major leagues from 1990 through 2001. Well, minor league games for Travis Shaw. 521 career minor league games over parts of 5 seasons in the Red Sox organization. Two-two pitch. And a foul off to the left.
You talk about those numbers, Don, and you know that's a lot of games, and there's no free pass to the big leagues for a guy like that. I mean, you got to earn your way up here, and Shaw has certainly done that. Obviously, circumstances presented themselves where they needed a first baseman, and Shaw got the call and has taken advantage of that.
Fouls it off again to the left out of play. See Dennis Leary, Lenny Clark, Jimmy Fallon, and more at the 21st annual Comics Come Home event at the TD Garden on Saturday, November 7th. Proceeds benefit the Cam Neely Foundation for cancer care. For tickets, visit tdgarden.com. Shaw takes strike 3. He knew it. Takes with him the 7th strikeout for Jeff Samardzija.
I got fooled that time on the off-speed pitch. The changeup, they wanted to go away. It stays inside, but the off-speed pitch fools Shaw. Second time he struck out. First time was on a fastball. That time a changeup.
1 out here in the 6th inning brings up Hanley Ramirez. Hanley hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning. Got it into a fielder's choice in the 3rd, and here he is now in the 6th. Lines it into left center field for a hit. That's going to get through the alley into left center field. Back to play it is Eaton, but into second base with a 1-out double goes Hanley Ramirez.
Well, we gave you those numbers earlier. 435 Ramirez coming into the game against Samardzija, and got hit by a pitch back in the 2nd inning. Now gets a high pitch, a fastball up in the zone. And Hanley gets on top of it, really hits the ball hard in that gap. I watch him take batting practice every day, and there's nobody on the team, nobody, that hits the ball harder than Hanley Ramirez.
Comes off his bat.
It's unbelievable.
It's incredible. He's at second with 1 down, and here is Brock Holt. Oh, 1 for 2 tonight. He singled and scored in the 2nd. Struck out swinging in the 4th inning. Nate Castillo waiting on deck. His 3-run home run, the difference in the game right now. There's the strike, and it's 2-1 to Holt. A double by Hanley Ramirez breaks up a string of 5 in a row, retired by Samardzija. 7 strikeouts in the game now for Samardzija. As he falls behind 3-1. Don Cooper is pitching coach, pacing behind Robin Ventura. On the corner, and he got credit for that. Full count.
That ball's not a strike. That ball's outside. Certainly one you don't want to swing at on a 3-1 count if you're Brock Holt.
Doug Eddings has to play tonight for the umpires. Holt gets out of the way of that, down and in, and he heads down to first base with a walk. That is the first walk given up by Samardzija, and it'll draw a visit here from his pitching coach Don Cooper. Well, you looking for ways to entertain employees or clients? Take them out for a night at Fenway Park to watch your beloved Red Sox. Visit redsox.com/groups for more information. 1 out of the inning, 2 on. Don Cooper talking to the catcher as well, Tyler Flowers, as they get ready to deal with Rusney Castillo again, who's had a good night tonight. The pitching line is brought to you by your area Lexus dealers. 5 1/3 for Samardzija, 6 hits, 3 runs, a walk, and 7 Ks. 91 pitches deep here with 1 out in the 6th inning. Rusney Castillo with a 3-run home run in the 2nd, a single to center in the 4th, a 2-hit night. And inside, almost got Castillo. Blocked that time by Flowers, just got a glove on it.
That ball bouncing up the third base line, so there's no way that Ramirez could go to third base. Just missing the belt right there of Rusney Castillo. One of the things I like about Samardzija, I mean, he's not afraid to pitch inside. He'll come in there quite often.
It's a lot of guys. That's as a result. Certainly it frees up that inside corner. 1-1 pitch. In the air to right field. Garcia going back, still going, and that ball is going to be off the bottom of the wall. Coming around from second base, Hanley Ramirez, he will score. Holt's going to try and score. He will throw to third, and Castillo will be out at third base. But 2 runs in for the Red Sox, and a big night for Rusney Castillo. Boston takes a 5-1 lead.
Yeah, Rusney now with 5 RBIs on the night, and again showing his opposite field power. Garcia in right field was not playing very deep at all, and this ball easily gets over his head. Looks like a cut fastball. And Castillo taking it to the opposite field. You can see Garcia going back as hard as he can, but it's off the wall. 2-run score. And then on the relay, they get Castillo going to third base. But it's a big 2 runs here for the Red Sox. Rusney, big night tonight. 3 for 3, 5 RBIs.
Now Ryan Hannigan. We did Rusney in the open tonight, Jerry.
Yeah,
nice.
I'm glad, you know, because usually we jinx guys. And tonight, Rusney living up to open possibilities.
And again, down 0-2. He has singled to right and struck out swinging. Lines it right back where it came from and into center field by Samardzija into center. And Hannigan has his 2nd hit of the night.
Now the bottom part of the batting order doing the job tonight. Holt with a hit and a walk. Castillo 5 RBIs, 3 hits. Hannigan with 2 hits. And to the phone goes Cooper. Right back up the middle, about shoe high. Hits off the mound and heads into center field.
Oh, with 2 down. Hannigan at first base. Back up top now for Mookie Betts. This one will get away from Flowers, and heading to second base is Hannigan. He will get there. Flowers could not locate it right away. Hannigan taken off, and he gets into scoring position.
That's a ball that really could have been blocked by Flowers, the catcher. Somehow it makes it through the 5-hole, and Hannigan gets in the scoring position. Yeah, he tried to backhand that ball. Very strange. Usually you'll see a catcher go down to his knees and try to block that. So the Red Sox get another man in a scoring position, and really kind of an ill-advised throw, too, by the White Sox catcher.
He's charged with a pass ball. And Jennings up in the pen, a left-hander for the White Sox. First action we've seen out there. Now Samardzija falling behind 3-0. Mookie is flying to center, lined out to second, and struck out looking. Taking 3-0, takes strike 1. Pablo Sandoval on deck with 2 down here in the top of the 6th inning. Up and in, and that almost hits Mookie Betts. That's the second walk of the inning and of the outing allowed by Samardzija. Well, be sure to follow NESN on Instagram today. Catch up on all the cool behind-the-scenes photos from the Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon and some cool photos of America's favorite ballpark. Follow NESN at Instagram.com/NESN. 2 runs into the inning. The Red Sox have a 5-1 lead. Robin Ventura headed out to make a change here on Jeff Samardzija, whose night is over. The pitching change from Chicago. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Samardzija chase from the game. Red Sox have a 5-1 lead over the White Sox with 2 outs here in the top half of the 6th inning. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by Kia. As into the game is Dan Jennings, who's been warming up in the pen for Chicago. His 35th appearance, 1-3 with a 5.13 earned run average, 32 strikeouts and 19 walks. And opponents hitting at 260 against the left-hander. comes in to face Pablo Sandoval with runners at first and second, and 2 down in the inning. Sandoval hits it on the ground, right side. Sanchez to the backhand. He'll go to first for the out that will end the inning. So Jennings gets 1 pitch and 1 out to finish off the top of the 6th. Red Sox have a 5-1 lead. Break down tonight's game, and you'll hear from Joe Kelly. Whatever, whenever, wherever. Who but W.B. Mason? Well, Joe Kelly now has a 4-run lead to work with. It is 5-1 Boston. Top of the White Sox order, Adam Eaton to lead it off. Well, the Red Sox out hitting the White Sox 8-2 in the game. And on the grass at third is Pablo Sandoval. Eaton 0 for 2 in the game. He is grounded out to short and grounded out to second base. Takes the strike, and it's 1-1. He had 11 ground ball outs so far in this game for Joe Kelly through the first 5 innings. Strike 2, 2-2.
That's been big for him tonight, too. His ability to throw strikes when he's behind in the count. You know, that time the count 2-1 comes in with a curveball. Certainly not something the hitter's expecting. It's like a change up now for the next pitch.
And it gets the hand of Hannigan.
And Hannigan still has that tendency to leave the hand out from behind his back. You can see it's behind his back right. No, it's not. It's just hanging right there. And
right off the hand again.
Yeah, a tough habit to break.
He spent time on the DL, the fractured finger surgically repaired.
Tumbling up on the changeup.
And a fly ball to center field, sending Mookie Betts. Bat still going, going to be over his head, and one hop the wall. Betts will fire towards third. It is a double for Eaton. Well hit to center field to begin things here in the 6th inning.
That's pretty good hitting right there by Eaton. And the changeup was upstairs a little bit, as you'll see here on the replay. But the ball was away. It was actually off the plate. And Betts playing Eaton shallow, as he should be. Just puts a pretty good charge in it and gets it one hop to the wall.
So Eaton at second base with a double to begin things here in the 6th inning. And it brings up Jose Abreu, homered back in the 1st inning. Tonight's key matchup is brought to you by Honda. Start something special with a great deal on a Honda. Abreu at .444, 8 for 18 against the Red Sox. Now 3 home runs against Boston this year. Home run his 24th of the year. And he grounded out to third base in the 3rd inning. With 362 with runners in scoring position, 6 homers and 47 RBIs. He's got Adam Eaton at second base with nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Abreu hits it on the ground to first. Shaw will take it himself to the bag. On to third goes Eaton with now 1 out in the inning. Well, tomorrow on the Red Sox Report, go behind the scenes to relive Pedro Martinez's memorable week in July. From his Hall of Fame enshrinement to Cooperstown to his number retirement celebration at Fenway. Catch it all tomorrow at 5 on a special edition of the Red Sox Report. 1 out, runner at third, and it brings up Melky Cabrera. 0 for 2. He is struck out swinging and grounded out to shortstop. Hits it on the ground to short, and Bogarts will go to first base for the out as the run scores. In from third comes Adam Eaton, and it is now 5-2. Red Sox have the lead. Cabrera will pick up an RBI, his 60th of the year.
Now at the leadoff double, this is not so bad. I mean, you get a couple of outs. They do get the run to make it 5-2, but you do have 2 outs in the inning, and you know the likelihood of a big inning has been diminished with the 2 outs.
Two down, bases empty for Avisail Garcia. 0 for 2. He has flied out to center and grounded out to second base. Fastball up and in, brushes him back. Down the right field line, falling fast and falling fair. Garcia thinking 2 as Castillo guns to second. He will be safe at second base. Now out. Came off the bag. And the tag applied as he came off the bag. So a single and thrown out at second base. We'll see if the White Sox will challenge. Ventura on the top step. We'll get another look.
Yeah, let's take a look at the throw from Castillo. Now originally they say he's safe. Oh yeah, clearly came off the bag with the tag on him. Clearly came off the bag, and Bogarts keeps the tag on him right there. He's out.
No challenge from the White Sox and the end of the inning. Chicago does get a run. It's 5-2 Boston. Xander Bogaerts leading it off here in the 7th inning. White Sox get a run back. Red Sox have a 5-2 lead as Jennings returns to the mound here for Chicago. Bogaerts has grounded out to second, been hit by a pitch, and popped out to second base. All that was against tonight's starter, Jeff Samardzija. Ends up going 5 2/3, 8 hits, 5 runs. Walked 2 and struck out 7. Ended up throwing 103 pitches. Came into the game individually at 8 and 9. Fouled at the plate. Xander is down 1 and 2. Bogaerts followed by Ortiz and Shaw scheduled here in the visiting half of the 7th inning. Jennings over his last 12 outings, a 1.56 earned run average. 3 earned runs in 17 1/3 innings pitched. Fly ball out to right field. Garcia's out there, and he'll make the catch for the first out of the 7th inning. Well, time to check out the results of tonight's Dunkin' Donuts poll question. We asked, which is your favorite style of pizza? Traditional thin crust, 67%, as opposed to Chicago's deep dish. Wonder what the results would be if we asked White Sox fans.
That'd be probably reversed. It would probably be 67% on the side of the thick crust.
Into the shift go the White Sox on the right side. David Ortiz with his 4th at bat of the night.
Let's take a poll in the booth. Thick, thin. 60-40, 60-40, thick. Anybody else in here?
I think that's it.
Yeah, deep dish would win.
David 0 for 3 tonight. That bounces in, blocked by Flowers.
Is that deep dish?
No, I don't think so.
When they show food during the game.
You hungry?
Yeah, you kind of want to eat.
Big swing and a miss there from David. Swing and a miss. Ortiz gets tied up there and strikes out. 2 down in the 7th inning.
That fastball down and in to David in a tough spot to make good solid contact. It's a pretty good pitch right there. You see David, you know how that front foot's coming out a little bit and almost pointing down that first base line, and it tells me that, you know, that 500 home runs is in the back of his mind. It looks like he's trying to pull everything.
2 down here in the 7th inning brings up Travis Shaw. Shaw 0 for 3. He has popped out to third base and struck out twice, once swinging, once looking. Two and one. Close pitch called the ball. 3 and 1. Shaw batting with 2 down, bases empty here in the top of the 7th inning with Hanley Ramirez waiting on deck. And a swing and a miss there for Shaw. It's full now. Takes a long walk out of the batter's box. Fouls it off, and we'll do it again. 3-2. Well, stay tuned for Red Sox Final presented by Uno's TC and Tim Wakefield to break down the tight American League wild card race. Fouled back again. Shall see an 8th pitch.
A good battle put on by Shaw, lefty against lefty. A pretty good pitch to hit on that 7th pitch, but fouled it back, and they'll go at it again.
And Shaw strikes out to end the inning. Back-to-back Ks for Jennings. 7th inning stretch, 5-2 Red Sox. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now on Southwest.com. Your local Subaru dealers. Digital Federal Credit Union. See what DCU can save you. And by Uno's, committed to the craft of pizza since 1943. 5-2. Red Sox have the lead over the White Sox. We head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Adam LaRoche leading it off here for Chicago. Takes strike 1 from Joe Kelly. Roach has fouled out to Pablo Sandoval at 3rd base and grounded out to Travis Shaw at 1st base.
Kelly still with a 97-mile-an-hour fastball in the tank.
Outside again, 3-1. Everything in that general area. Strike call. Full count.
Full count, and there hasn't been a strike thrown yet. Here's the last pitch. They wanted it right down the middle, and the ball slips outside, but still called a strike.
Strike 3 call. And LaRoche is not like that at all, as he will take with him. That's the second strikeout of the night for Joe Kelly. It's not been a big strikeout night. Well, tonight's game summary is brought to you by Xfinity. Joe Kelly 6 1/3, 4 hits, 2 earned runs. Castillo in this game, huge 3 for 3, including his 5th home run, a 5 RBI game for Rusney. Castillo. Jeff Samardzija on the hook right now for the White Sox. 5 2/3 all the runs charged to him. Brayu with a solo home run back in the first inning, his 24th of the year. Let's say Ramirez chasing the first pitch and fouling it over by the on deck circle. Ramirez walked in the second inning, doubled in the 5th. On the ground to shortstop. Bogart surrounds it. Goes out Ramirez, 2 down in the 7th inning.
Yeah, it's really been Rusney Castillo's night offensively. He has been the offense for the Red Sox tonight. Right away center field for the home run on the cut fastball from Samardzija. A base hit on a fastball back up the middle. And then opposite field. Up off the wall to bring in 2 more runs. Castillo responsible for all 5 of the Red Sox runs in this game so far.
Carlos Sanchez 0 for 2. He's grounded into a fielder's choice and flied out to right. More action for the White Sox in their pen. Former Red Sox right-hander Matt Albers. Ventura went to the pen in the 6th inning, and Dan Jennings has retired all 4 Red Sox that he's faced since coming into the game for Jeff Samardzija. Joe Kelly going 6 innings each of his last 2 outings. Tonight so far 6 2/3, trying to work his way through the 7th.
It's been nice tonight. I love the way that he's mixed up his pitches. He hasn't been strictly a fastball pitcher. He's gone to that curveball. He's gone to the changeup, the 2-seam fastball. Done a nice job mixing up pitches, falling behind in the count and throwing something off speed. Hennigan's really working him back there too, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he is mixing it up, working well with Joe Kelly. Swing and a miss, and he strikes out 2 Ks in the inning, and 3 in the game for Kelly through 7-5 to Boston. Take a look at the updated Red Sox box score. sure to subscribe to NESN on YouTube to keep up with all the news about the Red Sox, Bruins, Patriots, Celtics, and beyond. Visit youtube.com/NESN today. 8th inning back in Chicago, 5-2. Red Sox have the lead over the White Sox. Hanley Ramirez coming to bat here in the 8th. Jennings back out on the mound again for the White Sox. And there is strike 1 to Ramirez. Hanley has been hit by a pitch, grounded into a fielder's choice, and last time up doubled to left center field and scored a run. Jennings, since coming in, has retired 4 Red Sox in a row. He's been in since the 6th inning. As Ramirez dancing out of the way on a pitch down and in. Brock Holt waiting on deck. Then we'll see Rusney Castillo. He's had a huge night tonight for Boston. On the ground to shortstop, Alexei Ramirez. Throws out Hanley Ramirez at first base. Let's take a closer look at what's ahead for the Red Sox. Wade Miley will get the start tomorrow, 10-9 on the year with a 4.41 earned run average. Jose Quintana, 7-10, but a pretty good ERA, 3.60 ERA heading in. This closer look is brought to you by FW Web Selection Expertise Solutions. More at FWWeb.com. Quintana on the hill here tomorrow night, game 2 of this 3-game series. Red Sox have a 5-2 lead right now, and we'll get another look at Wade Miley tomorrow. Brock Holt has singled to center, struck out swinging, and walked. Scored 2 runs in the game tonight. Sale going on Wednesday in this series, so the Red Sox will not miss him, although they did rough him up at Fenway Park. He matched up against Rick Porcello, who returns for the Red Sox. Sale 12-7 with a 3.34, and Porcello returning from the DL, where prior to the DL he'd been 5-11. Be on Wednesday night, finale of the series. In the dirt for ball 2, 2-2. Holt grounds it softly towards the first baseman. Late to get over was Jennings, and beating it out is Holt. He'll be high in the pitcher covering, and he was kind of late getting over there, and Holt gets down the line.
Yeah, LaRoche bobbled it too down at first base, but I still think Holt was going to beat that, even if LaRoche comes up with a clean. Little tap down that first base line. You can see that the pitcher falling off toward third base. He's late getting going. There's a little bobble right there, and the shuffle out of the glove, and the pitcher wasn't even looking. He was thinking about Holt diving into first base. Took his eye completely off the ball. They were not going to get Holt anyway. I think that should be a base hit.
It is a base hit in the second of the night for Brock Holt. 1 out, 1 on for Rusney Castillo. Triple shy for hitting for the cycle tonight. Home run in the second, a single in the fourth, a double in the sixth. Thrown out trying to stretch it into a triple. Ground foul outside of third. They broke his bat on that last one.
Michael Marachi in the truck makes a good point. That's probably very, very painful for him to break that bat. That bat's been very kind to him tonight.
It's been a good bat.
Yeah.
The pitch out, nothing doing. I think that was a pitch out.
Yeah, I think you're right. A bad one. See the catcher jumping out and the ball coming back toward the plate, but high.
Is it impossible to throw a ball outside the pitch zone? You can throw one outside the pitch zone, I'm told.
Oh, the Amiga pitch
Yes.
zone? Oh, yeah. We've seen it this year.
Totally out of there. Ground ball foul outside at third, and Brian Butterfield.
I didn't know where you were going there, because like every game there's pitchers outside the strike zone.
No, not the strike zone, but the pitch zone, the entire zone that we're provided.
I got what you're talking about now. Yeah.
Totally out of the picture.
No, it's possible.
Okay.
We have seen that.
Soft toss to first, and back is Holt. 6 out of 7 in thefts on the year for Holt. Red Sox trying to add on to their lead, on top by 3 as they bat here in the 8th. Fouled off to the right, still 1-2. Right now, he's ticketed super savings on all Red Sox tickets. Tickets start at just $9, and Yankees tickets start at $33. Supplies are limited. Visit aceticket.com right now for super savings. Throw to first, trying to pick him off, but guessing as it works out. Brock Holt took off and they had him picked off, but bad throw from the first baseman, Adam LaRoche.
A very lackadaisical throw by LaRoche at first base on this pickoff attempt. There's Holt going on first move, and LaRoche just, kind of la-di-da that. He just took his time and made a very poor throw to second base.
One out, Holt now in scoring position. Steele's battled here, waiting on a 1-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. Castillo strikes out. That's the third strikeout for Jennings. 2 down. It's time for a game break, brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. Tom? Two down here in the top of the 8th inning. As Hannigan with a swing and a miss for strike one against a new pitcher. Matt Albers into the game, former Red Sox right-hander. 17th appearance, 2-0. Nifty 1.99 ERA. 18 strikeouts and 7 walks. Opponent sitting at 244 against Albers. There's a 1.44 ERA in his last 35 appearances. Dating back to last year's. Hannigan with a cut there, and he's down 0-2. He's not allowed an earned run in his last 7 games, 8 2/3. Spent time on the DL, breaking his right pinky finger in an on-field altercation that took place against the Kansas City Royals back in April. Here in 8 rehab games at AAA Charlotte. Red Sox have action of their own in the pen. Robbie Ross Jr. up in the pen. And again, batting with Brock Holt at second base, 2 down here in the 8th inning. Runner at second, the responsibility of Dan Jennings, who leaves after 2 innings. Giving up a hit, didn't walk anybody, struck out 3. Jeff Samardzija, the starting pitcher, on the hook for the White Sox tonight right now. And again, fouls it off. H.B. Hood salutes the Red Sox Foundation for its commitment to 4,900 accredited charities throughout New England. Mookie Betts waiting on deck. There are 2 outs here in the 8th. Hannigan hits one to center field. Back goes Adam Eaton. He will get there to make the catch, backpedaling to end the inning. Red Sox leave a runner in scoring position. Take a 5-2 lead to the bottom of the 8th. Southwest.com. 5-2. Red Sox have the lead as we head here to the bottom of the 8th inning. And Joe Kelly back on the mound. 97 pitches deep into his outing. He's dealing with 8, 9, and 1 in the inning. Up over his average. Still got a ways to go to get to his season high of 118. And doing some stretching out there as he prepares to deal with Tyler Flowers, the catcher for the White Sox, who is 0 for 2 in the game tonight. Flowers grounded out to first base in the second. Did the same thing in the fifth.
And that last fastball from Kelly, 98 miles an hour.
Bloop to right field. Castillo will not get there. Gets in for a base hit to begin things here in the eighth.
Well, sometimes you make a good pitch and it gets hit, and Kelly didn't make a bad pitch there. The fastball was inside, but Flowers just fights it off to the opposite field for the base hit.
Tyler Saladino, the batter, 0 for 2. He's grounded out to third base, grounded out to shortstop. Take strike one at the bottom of the zone. Even hundo right now for Joe Kelly. Center fielder Mookie Betts to right center. Good size gap out in left center field. Oh, and 2. New left fielder for the Red Sox, Jackie Bradley Jr. is taking over for Hanley Ramirez. So defensive change in the game, late in the game. In the dirt and blocked by Hannigan. No advance at first base for Flowers.
Kelly trying to snap off that curveball to pick up the strikeout, but bounces, and Hannigan able to block it, keep that man at first base and out of scoring position.
Swing and a miss. He goes around. Saladino strikes out. That's the fourth strikeout for Joe Kelly.
Right back to the curveball from Kelly, and this time Saladino chases it. Every pitch in that at bat down and out of the strike zone, with the exception of one.
Here comes Torey Lovello out here. He has had action in the pen. And it began with Flowers singling to right. Saladino strikes out. And he will take the baseball from Joe Kelly. The pitching change from Chicago, with the Red Sox on top 5-2. 7 1/3, 5 hits, 2 runs. He walked a batter, struck out 4. Responsible for Tyler Flowers, who's at first base. Adam Eaton bats and takes strike 1 from the new Red Sox pitcher Robbie Ross Jr. Ross into his 39th game of the year, 0-1 with a 3.97 earned run average, 41 strikeouts, 16 walks, and opponents hitting at .261 against Ross. There is strike 2, and it's 0-2.
And very quickly jumps ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. See what he does here on the 0-2 pitch. Gonna go away with the fastball. See if he'll chase.
Shaw holding on Flowers at first base with 1 down. Eaton hit a double his last time up, 1 for 3. And he slices 1 foul off to the left out of play. Joe Kelly responsible for Flowers at first base. And a liner down the left field line, foul. Join the 2020 Club and enjoy an affordable fun night at Fenway Park. Groups of 20 or more start at $20 each. Visit redsox.com/groups for more information. Isaiah Brady waiting on deck. Time call. Hannigan going out there as he goes back and forth. Ross not wanting to waste one here. Wants to go at him. Climbs back in the box with a count of 1-2. In the dirt, and no advance at first base for Flowers. On the ground towards shortstop. Bogarts will go to second for 1, on to first for 2. Double play. Nicely done. Ross gets out of any trouble in the 8th. We enter the 9th, 5-2 Boston.
Now only 4 strikeouts tonight, but you notice all 4 on off-speed pitches. Curveball, changeup, back to the curveball, and another changeup down and away. So 4 strikeouts all on either the breaking ball or the changeup.
Matt Albers back on the mound here for the 9th inning. Mookie Betts leading it off and taking strike 1. Betts has flied out to center, lined out to second, struck out, and walked on the night. Albers came in to get the final out of the 8th inning. Gene Machi up in the pen for Boston. Torlovello saying before the game that Tazawa is still the Red Sox closer, but not available for the game tonight. This is into left field for a base hit to begin things in the 9th. Tazawa had to throw over 30 pitches in yesterday's outing. So not available tonight as Betts has a base hit to begin the 9th. Tomorrow at 7, don't miss Red Sox first pitch presented by Joseph Abboud, available at Men's Warehouse. TC and Tim Wakefield will look at Xander Bogaerts' special relationship with his brother. Mookie Betts at first, Pablo Sandoval coming up. Then we'll see Xander.
A lot of options right here. The straight out steal, although Sandoval doesn't take very many pitches. He could also hit and run if you want it with Sandoval, because he can get his bat on the ball no matter where it is.
Goes around, trying to hold up, kind of changed his mind. 1-1. Hurt his hand in the process.
And trying to check the swing right here is Sandoval, but can't do it. Some pain shoot through maybe that right wrist.
This stage of the season, everybody's banged up. August the 24th, game number 125 of the year. Nagging injuries. 1-1 pitch. Have to wait as they check at first base again.
I don't know, Don. I feel pretty good.
You look terrific.
It's true that we always talk about it. The best players feel is the first day of spring training. It's all downhill.
Runner goes. Sandoval takes, and the throw is going to be late. Kicks into center, and then he takes off, and he'll be out now. So backed up very nicely as it turned out by Sanchez. Turning to take off was Betts, and they end up throwing behind him.
Yeah, it's a small thing, you know, but always back up the throws, and that's exactly what Sanchez does here. And you know, you can't really blame Betts. He sees the ball bounce, but he didn't see Sanchez coming from behind him, and then he eventually gets tagged out before he can get back to the bag. But you see the ball go to the outfield, but he did not see the second baseman who went out to do that. And it's just a fundamental thing that second baseman and shortstop do: back up a throw.
Sandoval lines this foul down the right field line. Swing and a miss. Sandoval strikes out. Out number 2 of the 9th. Is your child good at writing silly captions for photos? Visit NESN.com/freeze-frame to see the photo of the week and send in a caption that could make it on the next NESN Clubhouse show. Visit NESN.com/freeze-frame today. 2 down in the 9th, and it brings up Xander Bogaerts. He was grounded out to second, been hit by a pitch, popped out to second, and flied out to right. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning, Jose Abreu, Melky Cabrera, Abisael Garcia. Everybody gets on. Adam LaRoche will have a chance. Gene Machi getting ready in the Red Sox pen. Down and in, 1-2. Five runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Red Sox. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the White Sox. David Ortiz waiting on deck. It's been an 0-for-4 night tonight for David. On the ground up the middle into center field. A base hit for Xander Bogaerts. His first hit of the night. Comes with 2 down in the inning.
You know, we talked about Bogaerts a lot on the last homestand, and I mentioned the fact that, I mean, to me, this guy has made so much improvement in 1 year. I mean, to me, he's the most valuable player on the Red Sox right now as you look at this season, and I think he's going to get even better. And I think, I really look into the future, and not far from now, I see him double digits home runs, because I think he's going to learn when he counts in his favor, 2-0, 3-1. He's going to look to pull those pitches, and he's got enough power to hit that many home runs. It's just a part of the growing process. But the part that I have been most impressed with Bogaerts all year has been his defense. It has been, in my opinion, a Class A, a grade defensively. He's been outstanding at shortstop.
We're talking about teaching range, but it seems like his natural instincts have improved his range.
Yeah, exactly right. And knowledge of his pitches, knowledge of the league, getting a better for a step, all those things come into factor.
Now Albert is falling behind 3-0. Travis Shaw waiting on deck. 2 outs here in the 9th inning. See if he's got the green light. Takes it down and away for ball 4. So 2 on now with 2 down. And it'll bring up Travis Shaw. Flowers to the mound to have a meeting with Matt Albers. And Don Cooper's going to join that meeting. Tomorrow at 7:30, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live presented by DCU. TC and Tim Wakefield to preview Wade Miley's start against the White Sox. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? Wade Miley getting the nod in Game 2 of the series. Matched up against Jose Quintana, getting the start here tomorrow night. Battle of lefties in Game 2 of the series. 2 on, 2 down, and here is Travis Shaw. 0-for-4 in the ball game tonight. Shaw has popped out at third, struck out 3 times. in the air to left field. Melky Cabrera out there in left. He'll make the catch that ends the top of the 9th inning. Gene Machi will be coming in. The door is open. Red Sox on a 5-2 lead. Inning. Available is Junichi Tazawa tonight, so Gene Machi in to try to grab the save here. His 11th appearance without a record of 5.40 ERA, 1-for-1 in save opportunities, 7 Ks to 4 walks, and opponents sitting at 188 against Machi. They're the only batter that he faced yesterday in the loss against Kansas City. Jose Abreu leading it off here for Chicago. Let's take strike one. Abreu homered back in the first inning. Since then has grounded out twice. All that was against the Red Sox starter Joe Kelly. Pitcher of record right now for Boston. Line to left, and Bradley is going to try to grab that, but it gets by him to the track on the wall. And Abreu's headed for second base. He will get there standing.
Looked like a split-fingered fastball that time from Machi, and Abreu making good solid contact. I think this ball took a bad hop on Bradley out there in left field. Let's take another look. Or does he just overrun it? Looks like he's going to line up, and then it bounces behind him.
So at second is Abreu to begin things here in the ninth. It is a double. Now Melky Cabrera batting 0 for 3 in the ball game tonight. On the ground to first base, picked nicely by Shaw. He'll take it to the bag at first for the first out of the inning. On to third goes Abreu with 1 out now. Let's take a look at the Toyota play of the game, and it is the home run for Rusney Castillo back in the second inning. A 3-run shot to straightaway center. Castillo with his 5th home run of the year. Red Sox are trailing 1-0 at the time. Good night tonight for Rusney. 3 hits, 5 RBIs, including the 3-run home run. There is Abisael Garcia, who has flied out to center, grounded out to second, and singled to right field. On the ground down the third baseline, Sandoval charging in. His throw will be late. The run will score. So third run in now for the White Sox, and they'll bring the tying run to the plate.
And nothing Sandoval could do. I mean, he couldn't come home. He didn't have time at first base, so it's one of those little dribbling base hits down the third baseline. No play at home plate, no play at first base. 2-run ball game.
Now Adam LaRoche batting here for the fourth time tonight, 0 for 3. He has fouled out to third, grounded out to first, and struck out looking. Where the Blue gets his defense where he wants it.
Outfield very deep, trying to prevent the double by LaRoche.
Strike called. He had Shaw at first, kind of playing behind Garcia. LaRoche hits it in the air down the left field line, foul. Down 0-2.
Fastball high in the zone, but away, and that's why the foul ball goes into foul territory.
Line to left center field, and that's going to get in. Over to cut it off is Bradley. Throw goes to second, as to third base goes Garcia on the single by LaRoche. Tying run at first base now for the White Sox, with still only 1 out in the ninth.
And this has not gone as planned. 3 base hits in this inning with the 1 out. Fastball away. LaRoche going in that direction. And to third base goes Garcia. Pinch runner at first base.
Looks like Gordon Beckham is going to be pinch running. Will have set it out. First and third with 1 out. And Alexei Ramirez will be the next batter. She has given up 3 hits since coming into the game, and just the 1 out as Beckham loosens up. He's sprinting down the first base line. Out to break up the meeting. He has 3 saves in his major league career, and 8 save opportunities, 1 for 1 this year for the Red Sox. And we're going to wrap this one up, but he's already given up a run here in the ninth. White Sox have runners at first and third with 1 out. Alexei Ramirez has walked, doubled, and singled in this game. Ball 1. David Robertson now up for the White Sox in case. Ramirez grounds it towards third base. Sandoval will go to second for 1, on to first. Not going to be in time, and A run will score. In from third comes Garcia with 2 down. The White Sox get within a run. It's now 5-4.
And Brock Holt got cleaned out at second base, too, on that throw from Sandoval. The run of Beckham was right on top of him. And a very dangerous release right there by Brock Holt. If that ball gets away from Shaw, you're talking about a man in scoring position in a 1-run game.
Now Carlos Sanchez coming up here with a runner at first base and 2 down in the 9th. Sanchez tonight 0 for 3. Ball 1. Center fielder Mookie Betts over towards left center. Gap out there in right center field for Sanchez. In the air down the left field line. Jackie Bradley headed over towards foul ground. He will get there and make the catch that ends the ball game. So Machi gives up a couple of runs in the 9th inning, but the Red Sox able to hold on. He'll pick up the save. Big night for Rusney Castillo as the Red Sox win the first game of the 3-game series 5-4 and out hit the White Sox 11-8 in the ball game. And Joe Kelly ends up going 7 1/3, and Kelly picks up his 7th win of the season. Red Sox win at 5-4 as we send it to Tom Caron.